What's up everyone, it's IKARUS here, and today we are taking a look at the Radysus Challenges in OlliOlli World, one of my favourite games of the year so far. Now these tough as nails challenges can be unlocked after beating the main story of the game, with each level having one Radysus challenge. You will definitely need some serious skills to complete these challenges, and they will most likely take many attempts and a lot of practice. In this video I'll go through each challenge and offer some tips and tricks for each one. First up we have Candy Floss Flats, and the challenge requires you to reach the end without touching any kicker ramps. A pretty straightforward challenge to start, as you can just jump over most of the ramps without staying in a combo. Just make sure to jump again if you see a staircase ahead of you. Next up is the Beachway, and this is a pretty mean challenge for the second stage. You need to firecracker off of 5 different stair sets in the level, and pull off a different trick out of each one, all within a single combo. The difficulty in this one comes from jumping out of a manual at the right time, to land on the staircase for a moment, trigger a firecracker, and then leap out of it with a trick. There aren't many staircases in this level, so you will need to time your jumps very carefully, while managing your mix of tricks. Next up is Deck and Chair Rental, which requires you to collect all of the starfish in one run and finish the stage. This one is all about timing your jumps correctly over the kickers and then instantly jumping over the next obstacle. For the starfish towards the end, you can pop a manual and ride it down the stairs to make it a little easier for yourself. Remember, it doesn't have to be in one combo, just in one single run. Next up is Lilo Lane, and this is a tricky challenge asking you to firecracker down 7 of the stage's 8 stair sets in a single combo. Now this requires a lot of speed to carry you through the entire level, so make sure you start out as fast as you can, as you will be slowing down closer to the end as you manual down the staircases. Use the final grind rail to build extra speed for the last few gaps. You'll need to jump as late as possible off of those grind rails to make the last few jumps, as you will have lost a lot of speed by then. Next up is the Scoop, and this level's challenge is to complete the course with only one grind in total. That is the railing you will use near the beginning of the level to cross the water. From that point on, it's just a matter of avoiding the rest of the rails in the stage and making careful jumps across the platforms. Now you can make use of the checkpoints in this level, so if you do slam after a checkpoint, the challenge will still count as long as you have only used the one rail at the start. Next up we have the Scoop Special, and this one is one of the more straightforward challenges in Sunshine Valley. This challenge asks that you complete the level in just one single combo. You'll need to alternate between manuals and grinds as you make your way to the finish, and watch out for some of the larger gaps that are placed towards the end of the stage. Next we have the Salty Store, and much like the Scoop, this level's challenge requires you to complete the course with just one grind. You will need a tremendous amount of speed near the start to clear this first gap, so make sure you are using a power kick to build up the speed needed to jump it, while jumping as late as possible. The rail that you will grind is the one that crosses the river, so from that point on, you cannot use any rails. After the checkpoint, you want to build up plenty of speed to sail over the gap on the beach. From there, you'll need to leap over some obstacles before riding to the end of the course. You must take this path as the other side of the level forces you to grind at the end. Once again, the challenge does not require you to complete this in one combo, so feel free to make use of the checkpoints if needed. Next up we have Lobster Lanes with a very tough challenge. You must complete the course in a single combo while hitting 7 of the descending staircases with firecrackers. Coming in from the start, you want to build up as much speed as you can to come down the first and second staircases. The third staircase is extremely difficult to land on, and so I recommend that you pop some manuals to try and slow yourself down here. With the utmost precision and a bit of luck, you will just barely be able to pop the firecracker after clearing the ramp. Make sure you land back on the trail to slide down the 4th staircase, and jump off it early to clear the gap on the way to staircase number 5. The final 2 staircases of the level require you to jump at just the right angle to trigger the firecrackers. Too early or too late and you will hit an obstacle or miss the staircase. Next up we have Seaweed Harbour with a crazy challenge. You must grind 26 different rails throughout the level in one combo. And you guessed it, there are exactly 26 in total throughout the course. Most of the rails near the beginning follow a simple path, but the execution can be tricky, so ensure that you are jumping off them as late as possible for the maximum distance. When you reach the rails after the small hill here, make sure you land on the low rails first before jumping up to grind on the top rail. The jump you must make from the second top rail is massive, so jump as late as you possibly can and make sure you have plenty of speed. To finish off, you'll have 2 more sets of low and high rails, so once again jump from low to high on both and sail across the gap to the end of the course. Next up is ParadICE Caves, asking you to complete the stage in one combo with exactly 6 grinds, no more, no less. You will need to manual alongside many rails in this course, so the biggest advice I can give for this challenge is to hold the manual button well before you hit the ground to trigger a manual rather than a grind. Your first 2 grinds are early on, and you can make use of the staircases to reset your manuals and avoid grinding. You will come into the 3rd and 4th grinds to build up some speed to cross some of the wider gaps further on, while your 5th grind will help you cross a gap that is just barely too wide. From here, ride your way down and use the final rail to cross, carrying just enough speed to leap over the final gap to the finish. Next up is Coral Planks, and this nasty challenge asks you to complete all 3 of Mike's challenges in one run and in one combo, meaning you have to squawk every seagull, you have to avoid using basic tricks when traversing the pools, and you have to do an advanced trick over both water slides, so there is a lot to keep track of mentally here. As you traverse the pools, make sure you're doing an advanced or special trick every time you cross a gap or you will avoid the challenge. It can be hard to tell if you've accidentally performed a basic trick. I found it easiest to perform the same trick for each jump. Following the path in the video will lead you to squawk all the seagulls, so your focus is on the advanced tricks. The first water slide jump can be very tight, so you can use the stairs to get close enough to clear it. Just make sure you do an advanced trick here. The last set of pool jumps are quick, and it can be difficult to tell if you have done a basic trick here, so once again try to repeat the same advanced one. As you can see, I performed a kickflip in between, but the game seems to only count transitions over the pools for the challenge. Clear the second water slide with an advanced trick and you're done. Next up is Windfall Arcades, and this level's challenge asks you to complete the stage in one combo with only special moves. Now this can be a little tricky as the inputs for specials require a lot of stick movement, so try to keep track of the special tricks that you perform, as it can be easy to miss one or perform a basic trick instead. Naturally, it's easiest to perform the same special trick across the course for the sake of consistency, but as long as your tricks are yellow and say rad, you will complete the challenge by the end of the course. Next up is Skater's Wharf, and to complete this challenge you will need to perform a late trick on every quarter pipe in the stage. To pull a late trick, you will first need to start with any other trick, and then wait for your board to stop flashing. When it does, you will hold the circle button down and input another advanced or special trick to perform it late before you land. Now it can be a little difficult to work out the timing for late tricks, so make sure you have a trick in mind that you are aiming to do when hitting the quarter pipes. This challenge will pop after you have landed your last late trick. Next we have the Don Quay Hotay, and this is another combo challenge, meaning you will need to complete the course in one single combo. Now there are a couple of short grind hops to be wary of in the middle of this course, so make sure you're jumping quickly to avoid a slam, but aside from that it's not too difficult. Finally, we are on Best Beach with another single combo challenge. This level has some large gaps with quite a few grind rails. Keeping your momentum and speed is key to maintaining your combo here. If you decide to take the same path that I did, you may have to pop a few jumps just to keep your speed up the ascending rail. Once you're past that, grind a few more rails and you're home free. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all 15 of the Radysus Challenges for Sunshine Valley in OlliOlli World. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to drop a like if you did, and hit subscribe if you like what I do. That's it from me, until next time.